Neville Goddard asserts that everything you wish for can become your reality. Here, fiction is perceived as the product of imagination that does not correspond with the physical world, often viewed as the opposite of truth. However, one should consider, in the spiritual domain, what really separates reality from fiction when everything that exists originates from imagination. The story of the fig tree, which Jesus condemned to wither from its roots as described by Mark, illuminates this thought. This event activates the imagination and encourages us to have faith in God. It logically follows, then, that anyone who commands a mountain to throw itself into the sea, without doubting but believing that what they say will come to pass, will see their command fulfilled. Thus, Mark 11 demonstrates that regardless of the apparent lack of reality, all your wishes, if prayed for with the conviction that they have already been granted, will come true. The fig tree was alive when cursed, but by the next day, the envisioned act had manifested. This principle, therefore, is not limited to just noble pursuits, it is applicable to any goal, limitless to those who pray with faith. When praying, immersing oneself in the sensation of the wish fulfilled is essential, as prayer is essentially embracing and accepting that unseen state as tangible reality. Move forward on your path, assured that the desire has already materialized. At first, the realization of this practice may surprise you, but over time, through complete acceptance of this assumed state, you'll understand that no further effort is needed for its manifestation. Every intention naturally finds its way to fulfillment, proving that this world of imagination, without the need for external affirmation, comes into being through unwavering belief. Therefore, is this world not fundamentally a creation of imagination? If one has the courage to believe beyond the limits of reason and senses, maintaining faith in the reality of that belief, and sees it materialize, does it not imply that our perceived tangible world is indeed a projection of imagination? Everything originates from imagination. God, as the ultimate imagination, exists within you, and you within Him. The universe molds itself around your imaginings, even if the timing or method of their emergence eludes you. Thoughts of aggression inevitably lead to manifestations of violence in one's environment. A recent example on television involved Senator Kennedy, who often expressed fears of assassination, ultimately succumbing to such a fate. Thoughts of demise or aggression invariably become reality. Ensure no intermediary stands between you and God, for He resides within you. God is not distant, nor merely nearby, as closeness suggests separation. How can one be close to God when He is manifested within you from your inception, granting you His consciousness to appreciate the gift you've been given? When Pharaoh's servants shared their dreams with Joseph, saying, "We have dreamt dreams," Joseph replied, "Interpretations belong to God. Tell me your dreams." Isn't Joseph equating himself with God in this moment? Imagination, capable of creating existence from non-existence, focuses its thoughts on the unseen as if it has already occurred, through imaginative conception fueled by pure emotion. The prosperity or happiness of another can establish a reality that, although externalized, is simply the manifestation of what was predestined, for in this universe, nothing happens by chance. Everything occurs at its appointed time, a time to be born and to die, to laugh and to cry. Although everything in this world is destined to perish, being a realm of fiction, one can extract whatever one wishes from it. Do you yearn for acclaim and to fulfill great ambitions? Do you desire recognition in the eyes of others? Everything is attainable if you dare to believe it is already yours, despite what your senses and logic may indicate. If you maintain your belief both while awake and asleep, it will transform into reality. Once achieved, you can move beyond it. Desires are realized through imaginative acts. You can carve your path to success, as long as you convince yourself that the accomplishment is already yours, and it will manifest in your world. The key lies in self-belief. Have faith in your imaginings. You and your imagination are one and the same. In imagining, you do not mold clay, you transform yourself. Moving towards your desire, if you see exactly what you envision on television, holding firm with faith and emotion, it will manifest in reality. Two realms exist, the external, of effects, and the internal, of causes. This inner world, deep within you, is where life's true drama unfolds. Here, God blesses you with the essence of life. Now, As a living soul, you evolve into a life-giving spirit. In that moment, you will view this world from a higher perspective, recognizing it as inert, with you as the vital force. Blake stated, "Where there is no man, nature is barren." Truly, only man, as a living soul, breathes life into his observations through his animating power. While currently you animate all that you observe, you are destined to become a life-giving spirit, capable of creation in your likeness, imbuing your creations with life, and granting them the capacity to create. Trust me, fiction does not exist. Every nurtured thought will materialize. It might seem like just a thought, unlikely to come to fruition, yet it will. Believe yourself a monarch, and it shall be so, persisting until your thoughts transform. The Kennedys, haunted by beliefs in a tragic fate, experienced it repeatedly until they embraced a new understanding. No matter how perfect your life seems now, it's merely a dream from which you will eventually awaken. The scripture posits that under certain circumstances, deviating from the truth is acceptable. Is it not that an assertion lacking factual basis essentially equates to a falsehood? We are prompted to emulate the astute manager who, when faced with impending unemployment, cleverly renegotiated with his employer's debtors to secure his future welfare. In doing so, he adeptly maneuvered through life's verifiable challenges, as documented by memory, with shrewdness. Suppose your memory presents a scenario where only $10 reside in your bank account, with impending rent and no visible means for additional income, or perhaps a scenario where a friend is battling illness or unemployment. These scenarios are imprints of memory. Yet, you can challenge this memory record with a virtuous falsehood, imagining a bank balance burgeoning with $1,000, rent comfortably paid, the ill restored to health, and the unemployed thriving in employment. After all, what is perceived as reality is often rooted in imaginative fiction, and fiction transforms into fact in the sense that everything is a product of imagination. You possess the power to uplift someone from their current plight to a state of abundance, health, or success. Infinite states are available for one to immerse into. By recognizing imaginative constructs as real, denying the existence of fiction, you can inscribe beauty into your life narrative, replacing ashes with beauty, mourning with joy, and despair with praise. Believe in the reality of your unseen actions, then witness their manifestation. Exploring imagination as the origin of all creation and reality compels us to reconsider our existence. If we perceive every aspect of our life as the result of active imagination, then the power to alter that life lies entirely within our capacity to envision and believe in new realities. This principle, both profound and straightforward, dictates that what we imagine with conviction and perceive as true becomes our experience. This understanding bestows upon us complete responsibility for our current and future circumstances. We are not merely spectators of a fixed, unchangeable reality but active participants in its continuous creation. Each thought we entertain, every mental image we foster, acts as a cornerstone in the construction of our reality. Therefore, to change our reality, we must begin with altering our thoughts and visualizations. A significant implication of this understanding is the elimination of the notion of victimhood. Recognizing our ability to imagine and thus change circumstances through conscious imagination, we can no longer view ourselves as victims of external conditions. This shift in perspective requires practice and determination, as deeply ingrained thought patterns and limiting beliefs present considerable obstacles. However, the reward is freedom, the liberty to design a life that reflects our deepest desires and aspirations. Furthermore, this viewpoint prompts us to reevaluate our interactions with others and the wider world. Acknowledging our collective contribution to shaping reality through imagination, we start to see others not as competitors or adversaries but as co-creators on the vast canvas of existence. This realization fosters increased empathy and understanding, acknowledging that others, like us, are navigating a path of discovery and creation. In practical terms, the principle that imagination shapes reality equips us to face challenges and overcome obstacles with a new tool, creative visualization. Rather than focusing on problems and deficiencies, we can concentrate on visualizing solutions and experiencing the fulfillment of our desires. This approach not only improves our emotional well-being but also attracts the circumstances, people, and resources necessary to bring our visualizations into the physical realm. Ultimately, recognizing our identity as creators, capable of molding reality through imagination, invites us to explore the limitless potential of our consciousness. No dream is too vast, no desire too lofty, to be realized through the conscious application of this principle. Thus, we stand at the threshold of a new era of conscious creation, where imagination is the only limit. When I say that everything is within reach, I imply that everything exists within your imagination, and you wield the power of creation. As we navigate life, humans often remain unaware of the thoughts they mentally consume. Thoughts filled with horror, anger, jealousy, and hatred feed the unseen beast that gives birth to the evils manifesting before us. Remember, regardless of today's events, you have the power to shape the future. Fiction does not exist. Imagination creates its own reality. You have the ability to change your present and future by crafting a magnificent story for yourself and those you cherish. Experience the present as if it were an already achieved reality from the first-person perspective, then dwell in that state, for imagination gives birth to reality. The 11th chapter of Mark's Gospel strongly supports my theory on faith in God. God is not external, rather, He has become you. When the Son of God recognizes you as the Father, you will understand your true identity. From this moment into eternity, God has fused with you, yet, it is only when His Son recognizes you as the Father that you will truly comprehend your essence. Meanwhile, trust in my guidance and test your creative capacity. Create from the void by envisioning a scenario that signifies your dream's fulfillment and believing in its reality. Maintain your belief, and your dream will transform into visible reality. This validates the records of permissible deviations. Feed your imagination with thoughts of love towards yourself and others. If you dwell on violence, you will manifest violence, for you become what you consume.